Totally, I'm telling you guys. DM.
Hi everyone, this is your daily dose of User 1, and this is how to get banned without breaking any rules.
Rain is beautiful.
As you all know, by this point, LSRP management team has decided to ban me for 45 days. Now, I have spoken to both M. Martin, the head of the management on LSRP, who decided to ban me, and Surreal, the only other member of the LSRP management team. However, we didn't break any rules.
I came from nothing. I made all this myself.
Let me explain what happened. What happened was me, Turco, and Cycle wanted to rob a bank. To do so, you require an admin permission. And when we asked for one, we were told to wait until there were 50 cops on duty. So we waited for hours. We gathered all the equipment necessary, the weapons, the getaway vehicles, the radios, etc. We were all ready, and suddenly we had 50 cops on duty. So we reported to ask for permission again, just like admin told us to. However, the administrators simply ignored us. They didn't respond to our reports, and what happened instead was the number of officers just started declining. It went down to 50, it went down to 43, and it just kept going down. So we were like, okay, yeah, how about we rob another business? Right? How about we rob another business? Because you see, while you need a permission to rob a bank, you can just rob another business without permission, right? According to the rules. So we decided to rob this club that was open at the time. Now, we really changed our plan to work with the club that we were robbing, and we went ahead. However, we failed.
When I feel the humid in the air, all I say is...
We failed because while Cycle was shooting in the air to try to get everyone suppressed, the guards didn't care about that one bit. They didn't care about that. They weren't looking at it realistically, they were looking at it from gunshots. They were looking from the shootout standpoint. They all had deagles that did X amount of damage, and we all had AKs that did X amount of damage. So they were planning how they're gonna win the situation, and they won us. They won our situation because of that. Because this is a third-person game where, you know, despite the fact that it was a nightclub and it was dark, and there were people with AKs, you know, you're gonna shoot back anyway. You're gonna shoot back anyway. A bunch of those guards died, but you know, we're all kamikaze. We're gonna shoot back anyway. Yeah.
All people that hate me think I give a fuck.
Let's take a closer look at what happened, right? We had a plan. The plan was to go in and out as quickly as possible, just like with the bank. We would go in, we would take anything in front of the counter, right? We wouldn't go to the vault, we would just take everything up front. And banks do have a lot of money up front because they're doing a lot of deals like just that up front. Especially a big bank like Rodeo Bank. So we would do that, we would get out and we would leave before the cops arrived. I decided to do that because I've done it before, and when the cops arrived it's practically too late to do anything. Like, I was planning to overpower them in my previous heist, but that heist got declined. Just like this, well, this one didn't get declined. This heist just got ignored. We didn't get a decline, we just got ignored. So we just kept reporting upon, and the cop number got down, so we decided to rob something else, and yeah. All that happened was the guards pulled sidearms while we were armed and aiming at them with automatic rifles. They heard someone shout robbery, so they all pulled the guns, started shooting at us, and they didn't back down after like a bunch of them got killed. They just kept shooting at us. Because, you know why? It's not against the rules for them to keep shooting. If they're already engaged in a firefight, they can just keep shooting. That's how it's always been in LSRP. There's no rule that says you have to roleplay fear after you've already drawn the gun. If you've already drawn the gun, it doesn't matter how many of them are there. You can just keep shooting. Same works with cops. If you're a criminal and you need to get out of jail, just get a gun and it'll be your get out of jail card. That's just how it is, because that's the rules, right? We are enforcing the rules after all, aren't we?
Stop DMing me. Stop DMing me. Stop DMing me. Stop DMing me. Stop DMing me.
Everyone mysteriously forgot about the fact that we got banned for deathmatch. No one ever mentioned it. They started talking about, oh, the priors, oh, everything else. The impact that I was causing on everyone. Oh, I am a bad influence. Stuff like that. They didn't talk about how we were banned for deathmatch initially. They never mentioned it again. No. We don't want to talk about it. When I asked M. Martin on IRS why I was banned, this was his response. LOL. I'm serious, this is what he fucking said to me. Okay, but to be fair, he did give me a more reasonable response after that.
All the people that love me, PM me non-stop.
The RP isn't up to par with the standards we try to uphold, okay? So, here's the situation of how we robbed the place, right? We got up with the guns drawn already, we had the guns out, so we didn't need to roleplay slinging them, because we already had them out. We didn't break any rules, we robbed the store, we were all over level 5. We failed, sure, we failed. And yeah, that wasn't up to par with the roleplay standards that they tried to uphold. When was the last time I tried to rob a store? It was about 4 months ago. When the last time I tried to rob a bank? It was 11 months ago. No, okay, I tried to rob a bank about like 6 months ago, but that got declined. When I actually robbed the bank, that was 11 months ago. That was 11 months ago. So he says I do this all the time and no one enjoys it. I don't do this all the time, I do this rarely. I upload daily videos. So what? Am I segmenting that part of my... Am I segmenting the robbery part? The fucking 3-hour robbery that happened? 2 first hours of which was just getting admin permission and then 1 hour was the actual robbery? And I am segmenting all these 3 hours and uploading them all over the year. Is that what's happening? No! I'm doing something else. I'm doing something else, but they completely ignore that. They say that all I'm doing is robbing people all the time, which isn't true. Yeah, sure, I upload a lot of videos of that, but I also do a lot of other stuff. I do a lot of other stuff. Like charity rights, like creating jobs. I try to create businesses. I see a bunch of people advertising saying, oh, I am a 18-year-old girl, I'm looking for any job whatsoever, I'm trying to make money. And when you have a lot of demand for work, you want to create businesses. So I try to create businesses. I opened a burger shop. Who the fuck opens a burger shop in mall? Only me. I've never seen anyone else do that. And I always tell people, all these rates, all these stores and malls, you can always rent them for a really cheap price. I always tell that to people. They never do anything about it. Amy Mendoza, she's an entrepreneur. Everyone's like, oh, she's a movie creator, or she's a killer. No, she's an entrepreneur who just happens to be a little homicidal. But regardless of that, I mean, she's in a very hostile environment. What do you expect from that? Anyway.
Every risk that I take, I do all that myself.
It would be reasonable answer that we didn't uphold the RP standards if we weren't role-playing, right, at all, right? But what do you expect us to do when we're in a firefight? Now, you're gonna say, all of you have the perception that role-playing is typing /me. And I'm guilty of that as well. I used to say that all the time, but now I think about it. And do you type /me every time you breathe? Do you type /me every time you walk? Do you type /me when the opposite gang starts to shoot at you and you scroll your gun and start shooting back? Do you type /me in those situations? No, because if you did, you would lose the firefight and it would be completely your fault. It's just stupid to type /me in this situation. And it's completely okay according to the rules to not type /me in those situations. So where does the RP wasn't up to par to the stance that we try to uphold comes in? Well, I'll explain where it comes in, and it's not in a good part.
Always felt like an impossible mission.
Now, Martin has posted a link to an announcement where basically the administration is annoyed that the robberies happen way too frequently. And you know what? I partly agree with that. I think robberies, there should be something done about the robberies. But here's the thing. We didn't break any rules. We shouldn't have been banned. And here's the fun part. In the link, in the thread that he posted, it actually says that it's not against the rules to rob a store without any admin permission. This is the quote. I'm gonna quote it right now. This has always been discouraged as an activity, but no official server rules have been put up about it yet. That is from the thread that he linked in the ban appeal. I made a ban appeal, I asked, why did you ban us? And this was his explanation. He posted a thread where it said, what I did was not against the rules. So how's that an explanation for why I was banned?
You struggle, you open a door.
Martin does say that while we didn't break any rules, I'm a bad influence on other people. The things that I do, they're not good roleplay, according to him. Everything I do is mess around. Oh wait, no, that's another situation. Yes, this isn't the first time this happened to me, and every time admin seems to be bringing up my YouTube channel and how I'm a bad advertisement for them, basically.
After you do that, then in follows more.
It doesn't matter that I didn't break any rules, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. They didn't like my YouTube videos, so they decided to ban me from the server instead of trying to communicate with me. They never PM me about my YouTube videos, they never do. No, they don't. And Martin has explained to me that basically no one enjoys these bank robberies. No one enjoys these bank robberies. That's the reason why they ignored my requests. He didn't say that we ignored the request, he said that's why they didn't approve it, but they basically ignored it. If you didn't want to approve it, why didn't you contact me and say you were declining it? If you didn't want to approve it, why didn't you like talk to me in general about the stuff that has been happening recently? No, you decided to ban me for not breaking any rules, but just because you were annoyed. Just because you were annoyed, and that's pretty much it.
They follow your footsteps that you lay in the mud.
I'm not saying you didn't have a reason to ban me. Yeah, you did. You don't like my videos. That's a reason you banned me for. And you did have a backbone. You have a lot of admin record. However, here's the thing. If I don't break any rules, and I get banned while I wasn't breaking any rules, you can't use that you had a lot of admin record as an excuse to keep me banned. That's not just... Okay, you can... Okay, if you suspect me of breaking rules, you can ban me, sure. But if I prove that I didn't break any rules, you're just gonna say, oh, you know what? You had the record in the past, so we're just gonna keep you banned anyway, despite the fact that you didn't break any rules.
Rain is beautiful.
I've always praised LSRP for being the best roleplay server out there in terms of immersion, and I won't stop doing it. I really like LSRP, and I really feel like it's the best roleplay server out there, but I've just been banned without breaking any rules. And Martin hates how my videos are depicted, right? Because you already have hundreds of cops and crooks perspectives. You have a bunch of gangster YouTubers who just upload going against their position, killing cops, all that, and of course a bunch of banned compilations in the middle, yeah? And then you have a bunch of cops. They don't have nearly as many banned compilations, but they just have as many shootouts and other bullshit, which is great. Rarely you see a video about cops being banned. Oh wait, I remember a video about cop being banned from my video, where I actually argued that he wasn't breaking any rules in that specific case, and oh well, he got unbanned. Oh wow, what a coincidence. Anyway, yeah. So basically, you don't like my content, where I create jobs, do charity rides, try to do something new and exciting, try different challenges. Yeah, I try different stuff. And sometimes, yeah, that does get me in trouble, because your rules are very fucking vague. And in this case, you literally ban me without me having to break any rules whatsoever, just because you don't like my YouTube videos.
I see lights reflecting in a puddle, all I think is...
I love LSRP, I really do love playing here. It's really sad that I've put so much effort yet again to be just flushed down the toilet. Yeah, that was a reference. Quinn actually got arrested, and I was really excited about disputing the charges. And, you know, creating an episode about that and everything. And then, like, making a tutorial about how you can dispute your charges as well, in character-wise. That would be really fun. Like, this little, actual, like, battling police with media stuff. But, you know, I got banned, so... It's gonna be the same story with Paul Anderson, when I got banned back in the day, where the judge will simply dismiss the case on out-of-character basis of, well, we moved on with our lives, you know, it happened so long ago. Yeah, the case was open, and, no, the case was actually locked, but you know what? We're gonna pretend that it was open, and we're gonna say, you cannot guilt-trip my judges into reopening the case. This is your fault that you got banned. This is your fault that you got banned. I had to CK my favorite character, Paulette Sanderson, for that reason. I regretted CKing her. I should not have CK'd her, because that was a bullshit reason. And now what it seems like, I have to CK Michelle Quinn again, for the same bullshit reason.
Rain is beautiful.
I bought a house on Palomino Creek, where I want to host parties with all of you guys. And I've still had the house where I did the original bank robbery. And, you know, I could do stuff there as well. I had a green screen and everything. You remember that scene? I did a green screen with that. That was really fun. And I was doing actually a lot of employment there. And I actually had someone else gift me another property, which I'm also going to lose, because I lose all of my properties when I'm banned. That's just what happens. That's just what happens. And I have no option around it. So all of that character development down the drain of the fucking toilet. Isn't that beautiful? When we didn't break any rules.
Effort they go to hate me.
I'm left with no choice here. I'm going to stop making videos on LSRP completely. Now this doesn't mean that I will leave LSRP. I love LSRP. I love playing here. I think it's fantastic server with great environment, living and breathing world. It's just great, right? It's just great. It's a fun game. I've been playing here for years. I just love it. However, what happened to me, the fact that it keeps happening to me over and over and over again, leaves me with no choice but to simply stop making videos about LSRP.
Could have gone to create memes.
I'm a little skeptical about making the statement right now, because I haven't appealed yet. Well, I mean, I have appealed and I was told to reappeal, but I will have to reappeal again in 45 days. Which means that at some point, the administrator is gonna know that I'm not gonna advertise his server anymore, but he'll have to make a decision whether he's gonna unban me or not. So he might decide to not appeal me at all. That's a possibility, which will be sad, but you know, I've learned to move on before, so if this channel has taught me one thing, it's good to move on sometimes.
Rain is beautiful.
And Martin and a lot of admins think that all I do is what happens in my videos. They don't consider the fact that happens in the background. They don't consider what I do off camera. People ask me all the time in PMs, are you recording? Well, I don't answer that anymore. I used to say yes all the time because that's true. I always record. Because in case someone breaks a rule or something, and I need to post evidence for that. But unfortunately, people got disappointed that they didn't see their faces on my videos. So I started saying secret instead. But people assumed that by secret, I meant I was recording, even despite the fact that I never said no. So they again expected me to, expected to appear on my videos, and they were disappointed when they were not. So what I started doing instead is just ignoring those questions whatsoever, because I don't want you to behave differently on whether or not I'm recording or not. I want to just experience roleplay.
Them haters, they wanna break me down.
I put a lot of hours into certain videos that I have yet to release, such as To Live and To Die in the City of Saints. It was a movie that I made in character-wise completely. I've put a lot of hours into it, and I have some scenes that I haven't released yet. It was supposed to be an in-character movie, used to be a distraction to a bank heist. That was the plan, and I just now gave it away. I just now gave up my plan. I've been planning it for ages, and the heist was not approved. That was the heist that I was planning to use the sniper rifle in, to actually overpower the police department when they would inevitably ignore my requests completely, as they always do. However, what happened was our heist was not approved, and instead what I had to do is rob a private business. Which leads us with that video, the Sniper LSRP video. Now isn't that fantastic? Had you approved the bank robbery, instead of Sniper LSRP, it would be a bank heist. It would be a bank heist. We would be overpowering LSPD for once, and LSPD would maybe begin to be skeptical about just ignoring, just always prioritizing going after the criminal and never caring about the innocent lives they might hurt and endanger. The police, the LSPD, the way they roleplay, they always ignore just innocent lives. They always act like they need to catch the criminal at all costs, when in real life they would not endanger innocent lives or put their own life on the line. So I wanted to make this ultimatum. I wanted to overpower them, but I was just not allowed to do that. So I had to do the next best thing and try to do a robbery that didn't require an admin permission at the time, and still doesn't require an admin permission, and didn't require admin permission when I was banned for doing the robbery.
That plagiarism is all I feel right now.
After the situation, I spoke with another administrator. He explained to me that what I had done was not classified as that much, but a lot of people seem to believe that it was. He never mentioned that the situation was voided as well, but he said that I wasn't breaking any rules. Sure, after the situation, I did something very stupid and I tried to flash a sniper rifle on the toilet, but give me a break, okay? LSPD has always been on the winning side. Always. Every patrol car has an M4 in it. Every patrol car has an M4 in it. They just, whenever they're outgunned, they always get out M4s and they start shooting at us, and no one can outgun them, usually. However, we finally could. And the only time that we could, I was really happy. I was ecstatic. I was just completely overflown with emotion. I was celebrating out of character because I finally given them a taste of their own medicine. Hey, do you want to feel like what it's like to be outgunned? Well, here you go. I'm a sniper. And what did they do to a sniper? Well, what did they do to a sniper? Well, the helicopter pilot, instead of flying away while being shot at, has been flying towards me. They're completely fearless. They're completely fearless. They were flying towards me, and they were completely sure that the situation was going to be voided. And from what I hear, it was, but it was never mentioned to me by any administrator, by the way. It was never mentioned to me, never PM to me, never anything to me. It was just told to all the PD immediately that the situation was voided. Immediately. Because they need the police to win all the time. They need the police to win all the time, for whatever reason.
Figures can't make their own shit.
Anyway, yeah, I did something stupid. I did try to flush sniper rifle down the toilet. And yeah, I power gamed on my own, in my own environment, where I wasn't even required to roleplay disposing of the sniper rifle. I power gamed while disposing the sniper rifle. And even though I didn't actually roleplay the sniper rifle flushing down the drain, and then I came back to grab the sniper rifle and properly dispose of it, no one cares about that. Someone random who didn't have anything to do with the situation reported me against player report guidelines. No one cares about the rules because the administrator completely overlooked the fact that it's against player report guidelines to report someone who you're not involved with at all, who didn't cheat or exploit any bugs, and jailed me. Jailed me for power gaming. No one cares about the rules. Administrators don't care about the rules. The players, they don't care about the rules. The rules are meaningless. Completely.
They look up for people who better at it.
But thankfully, the jail was overturned. The jail was overturned. And speaking of overturned jails, I've had quite a few of them. I had 80% of the time, out of all the times that I have reported administrators, I've had my punishment overturned. It ranged from jails to bans. My first time I reported an administrator was when I was banned for 3 months. For 3 months. Why? Because I used the first person mod to film an interview with Frank Vaughan. You remember Frank Vaughan? You remember that mayor that got busted for weed or whatever? Yeah, I did an interview during an election with him. But no, all I do is rob banks. All I do is rob banks and stores. That's all I do. And no one enjoys that roleplay. No one enjoys that roleplay. Why did people tell me that they enjoyed the roleplay? They were lying to me. They were lying to me, obviously, and it's of course the fact that you're right. Of course you are. Administrators, they're always right. They're superhuman, as we all know. They have the ability to tell what other people, you know, they have the statistic, they have the knowledge of everything. They own the server. and they know what's best for the people at all times.
They see me, they laugh, but little they know.
So we come back to today. Me and my friends got banned when we didn't break any rules. We all know this. I appreciate the support for all of you who have been messaging me on forums, Skype, Steam, Twitter and YouTube comments. I'm happy to learn that Cycle was unbanned due to his clean record. However, keep in mind, we should have been banned in the first place. Cycle was demoted from his position in FD because of the ban. And M. Martin told him to stay away from the bad crowd. Well, since I'm so horrible of an impact, so all of my friends, as you say, M. Martin, I'll stop being your free advertisement puppy. Because you don't like my videos and you will go outright to ban me and my friends when we didn't even break any rules. And blame it all on me and how bad of an influence I am to everyone I've ever been in contact with. Simply because you don't like my videos and you're annoyed that people sometimes rob stores on a roleplay server. For me personally, it's once in like 4 to 6 months even. I have not robbed a store in 4 to 6 months.
You pushing my buttons, I will let it go.
Now I know a lot of fans will be very upset about this. It saddens me as well. I built these channels practically from LSRP alone in the first place. Majority of my content is LSRP, and I've really enjoyed making videos on LSRP. It's not easy to get content on LSRP, you know. Every other game, it's so much easier to get action and tits in the game, you know. It's so much easier in other videos, in other games, but I chose LSRP because I find it very enjoyable and immersive. Not a lot of people share that with me, so I try to do action to try to get people in the game, but apparently that's not okay. Believe it or not, weapons are scarce and rules are extremely vague. As we've recently found out, they don't even matter, as you can be banned for any reason, whether you broke a rule or not.
You don't wanna see my creativity flow.
I will still play, like I said, on LSRP because I really enjoy it. However, I will not make any more videos about it. I will still make videos and play on RCRP, but most importantly, I'll be moving Amy Mendoza's storyline to 5RP, which is, I believe, is gonna be the future. Because, you know, we can't always stay with SAMP. We gotta move on. And while GTA Network is a brand new platform, it's really buggy, as any new platform is. I mean, SAMP had lag shooting just a couple of years ago, but you know, 5RP has now. They'll patch it in a couple of years, and who will be there? Me. I will be there, and I will be able to stand up and say, hey, I was there from the start. I was there from before GTA Network was live, and I was rooting for it. This will drastically change the content you'll see on this channel, and again, I didn't want to do this, but I'm practically left with no choice, because I read the rules all the time. I try to create jobs, and most importantly, I try to experiment with different styles of roleplay. And he says that robbing banks is all I do. Well, that's what the other banning admin said too. And the reason that you're saying this is because I'm not joining an illegal faction with a character kill clause, where I would be forced to purchase a name change and fund the server. So I'm not role-playing up to standards that you're trying to uphold. Obviously what I just said now is a speculation, but I'm trying to find out why I was banned, and I cannot come up with a good reason. Partly because the first answer I got from the banning admin himself was laughing out loud. So yeah, take this information and do as you will with it, but I won't upload any more LSRP content, because I do not support people being banned when they didn't break any rules. Thank you so much for watching, for all the support you've given me. Remember that you're awesome, remember that you should stay awesome, and have a great evening.